Hello again. I'm back again. This isn't going to be a very long video. I just wanted to do one of the tags. I'm going to do the Know Your Needlework tag. But before I get into that, I feel I have to show you something. I don't want you to just come and see me talk. I want you to actually see something. I got one more FFO'd, one more of my projects that I did way back when. And there it is. I'm going to hang this probably in my kitchen. So that's one down. Just a few more to go. And not only will I not have any UFOs, everything will be FFO'd. Now I got one thing to show you. I'm going to show you the progress on. I started this 2 days ago. Okay, and this is where I'm at. I would have gotten farther, but something happened yesterday when I was cross stitching on it that made me that I got stuck. And I'm not going to show you the whole pattern, but I got to show you a little bit of the pattern. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. See the X's? Where are they at? Where are they at? Oh, they're right there. See those X's? Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you the color chart. Where's that? Can you find an X on there? If you can, please let me know, because I've searched and searched and searched and searched, and there is no X on this key. And again, I kept going back and saying, yes, that's an X, and no X. Yes, it's an X, no X. I had had my son look at it, which I had my husband look at it, had my daughter look at it, all three of them. No, there's no X in that key, guy. So I don't know what color the X is supposed to be. And you ever watch that movie Awakenings with Robin Williams? You know, and those people, you know, sometimes his patients would like freeze, and then you'd have to poke them, and then they'd start up again. That's how I felt yesterday. I had froze. I need someone to poke me to get me started again. But I sent off an email to who's this by again? Sue Hill Designs, and I shot them off an email saying, hey, what color is X supposed to be, because it's not on your chart, and haven't heard anything back yet. But if anyone else has ever done this design, or if you're planning to do this, you got it and you plan on doing it, if you know what color the X is supposed to be, please let me know in the comments. And when I find out, if they ever send me back an email, and when I find out what the X is supposed to be, I'll let you guys know. Okay? Alright, that all said and done, let's do a tag. My very first tag. Well, I did some tag questions of my own, but this is the first one that I'm responding to. I don't know who started this tag. I found it, and like I said, I've been writing down I wrote them all down, and I've been writing them down as I've been watching people, so I don't necessarily always get where they originated from. But if you started this tag, just know that, hey, I'm answering your questions. So here we go. Number 1, where do you live? That's easy. I live in a house. That house, however, happens to be located in Connecticut, eastern Connecticut, a little bitty town called Lisbon. We moved here in spring of 2013, and before that, I lived in a small town. And if anyone knows where this town is, and I lived in Texas, and if anyone in Texas knows where this town is, then that tells me you're from the country, because it's a little town. It's called New Caney, Texas. Anyone out there heard of it? If you have, let me know, because even people from Texas don't know where New Caney is. But it's 30 miles north of Houston, just in case. Alright, what do you do for a living? Right now, I am a full-time mom and housewife. That, however, wasn't always the case. Excuse me. I have always worked in management and retail. I was a store manager of a store that sold paper and graphic supplies to small printing companies. For a while, They since closed all their stores. Um, I was a manager for many years at McDonald's. I was an assistant manager for many years. I was I managed a bakery. Ooh, that's where I gained all my weight. If you don't want to gain weight, don't work in a bakery. And it happened to be the last job I had. After that, me and my husband decided it was time for me to stay at home. He was making enough money where he can support the family and not, or he had gotten a new job, and so that I said, woohoo, yeah, you want me to stay home? I'll stay home. So that's what I do now. Number 3. What are my 3 other favorite hobbies other than cross stitch? Ooh, I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I'll be right back. Alright. I had some show and tells for this question and I forgot to grab them. Other than cross stitching, that has to be my favorite. I would say that my next favorite is crochet. And I put his head on a little crooked. But this is crochet. I just learned how to do this year, by the way. I'm self-taught. I found videos on Pinterest on how to do these. And I said, oh, I know how to crochet. I can do that. And this was the first one I made, a little teddy bear. Then I got a little bunny rabbit. Hi. And then I got a giraffe. Ooh, legs. Giraffe. So, that's one of my hobbies. And I got a bunch more animals over there that I have, but I'm not going to bore you with those because... so that's one. The second one is reading. I love to read. If I'm not cross-stitching, I'm reading. And if I'm not reading, I'm cross-stitching. Of course, I do most of my reading at night when the light's not very good for me to do cross-stitching. So that's when I read. So I stitch during the day and I read at night. But yeah, I can sit down. I've been known to sit down and start a book at 8 o'clock at night and be finished with it by 2 o'clock in the morning. Because that's how much I love to read. So that's the second one. The third one... the third one, I'm going to say cooking, as you can see. But I love, especially trying out new recipes. I love to get on Pinterest, find new recipes, and make new dishes for my family. And God bless them, they are very patient with me. 95% of the time, the dishes come out great. And there's been a few exceptions to those. There was one recipe I made that we sit down to eat it, and we chunked the whole thing and went and heated up some hot dogs or something. So that doesn't happen very often, but it's happened at least once or twice. But yes, I love finding new recipes on Pinterest and cooking. Those are my 3 hobbies. Do I have any children? Yes, I do. I have 3. I have my oldest is a girl. She just turned 31. Then I have my son, who just turned 21. And I have my youngest, who turned 15 this year. So, and I know what y'all are thinking. Wow, what a spread. 10 years between the first 2, and, 5.5, almost 6 years between the last 2. Yeah. But those are my 3 kids. I love them all to death. Wouldn't trade them for anything. Do you have any pets? Yes, I do. I have 2 dogs. I have one fox terrier mix. Her name is Pepper. She's 7 years old this year. And she thinks she's vicious. It's so cute. And then I have a American bulldog who is just over a year, so he's still technically a little puppy. Well, he's not so little. He's big. He probably weighs close to 95 to 100 pounds. But he's nothing but a big dork. And he hasn't realized yet that he is bigger than Pepper, and that all he would have to do is sit on Pepper, and he could win the argument. Pepper rules him. It's hilarious. But yeah, those are my two pets. We did have a cat that when we moved from Texas to Connecticut, we decided not to bring the cat, so we found the cat. We found him a new home, and his name was Doofus, and he fit his name. So anyway, next one, favorite movie. I have two favorite movies. They are tied. They are equal. They're both in the top spot. And the first one, and I know a lot of y'all are going to like this one, but the first one is Wizard of Oz. I watch that as often and as much as I can. And the next one is Gone with the Wind. Same thing. I own both of them on DVD, and if I feel like I don't watch much TV, but when I feel like watching something, I'll pop one of those in. Those all-time favorite, two of my all-time favorite movies. Let's see, TV show. Okay. Again, I got two that are right up there. First one is Walking Dead, and the second one is Game of Thrones. Again, I never miss an episode. I watch those. I'm very patiently waiting for them to come back on. I'm having withdrawal symptoms, but those are my two. And if you've never seen either one, I recommend, especially The Walking Dead. People say, "Oh, you watch The Walking Dead? It's about zombies." It's not all just about zombies. It's a very it's if you watch it from season one and watch it through, it's good. It's good. I like the storylines about how they interact and how they cope with the new world and everything. It's just very interesting. I love it. Music. There's only two types of music I listen to. And that's country, whether it be new or old. I like all the way from the country music from the 50s to the new country. If it's country, I love it. And classic rock. That's it. Those are the only two things I listen to. Let's turn my page here. Favorite book. I can't pick a favorite book, so I will pick my favorite author. And that would be Jim Butcher. If no one's read his series, The Dresden Files, I suggest it. If you're into, wizards and vampires and witches and stuff like that in the modern day, but you also like a mystery, a crime-solving mystery type stuff, I recommend Jim Butcher. He's the best. First book in the series is called Stormfront. Get it, read it, you'll love it. One word I would best describe me. That's a hard one. That really is a hard one. I don't know how I would describe myself. I would have to say fun-loving. Is that one word? Is that counted as one word? Easygoing. Is that easygoing? Is that counted as one word? I can't find one word. They're all two words. But that's just me. I'm very easygoing, and very fun-loving. I mean, that's just how I am. I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. I like to make other people laugh. I have a very weird sense of humor sometimes. Some of the things that pop out of my mouth, I don't have no filter from my brain to my mouth. Sometimes that gets me in trouble. So, who influenced me to make YouTube videos? Okay. She doesn't even know she influenced me, and I don't even know if she watches my videos. I know I've commented on some of hers, but I kind of stumbled into the floss tube world. I was doing a search on something, a cross stitch design or something. I forget what it was, and one of the things that came up was a video on how to do parking, and I'm like, okay. What, you cross stitch and park together? I was curious. What do you mean parking and cross stitch? I had never heard of it. So I clicked on the video, and it was Carolyn's video, that lives down under. I'm not going to say her name because I'll probably butcher it. And I watched it, and I was curious. So that I went to her very first video, and I watched it. When she got the stand. And I sat and watched her videos from first one to all the way through, and I'm like, this is so neat. I didn't know people were out there doing that. I'm like, if she could do it, I could do it. Not that I think I just thought, if someone was doing it, then I could do it. I didn't want that to come out the wrong way. And so yeah, that's what influenced me to start. Her videos influenced me to start hers. And Carolyn, if you do watch, hi. And just a useless piece of information, you have the same first name as my mom, Carolyn. It's not a very common name nowadays. So anyway, that's it for the tag. I hope you enjoyed me sitting here rambling. Oh, there goes my dog. Someone must be here. So until next time, happy stitching.